All right, what's going on, Wild Family? Welcome back to the channel where we ride, we hustle, we repeat. Today, I got an exciting guest for you guys. I think you're going to be very entertained. You're definitely going to be informed. This guy comes from the West Coast. We normally don't deal a lot with the West Coast, with the exception of Randy over there in California. But I got another West Coast guy, another guy that I firmly believe really embodies what this channel is about: riding, hustling, and having fun on e-bikes. Without further ado, let me introduce you to Bishop. Bishop, tell us who you are and what you're about.
Well, first off, thank you for the amazing intro. But yeah, I'm just honored to be here on your platform. This is pretty amazing, and just to see how you're doing your job and to making us like come together. This cohesiveness is needed. It's needed. So
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I appreciate that first. But no, me, I'm a full-time videographer and photographer. This is kind of what I do all day, every day. And I've been in the videography world for a while now. And YouTube kind of just became like a therapeutic kind of way for me to just express myself and talk and document a few things. But as a dad and a husband and a businessman, the whole point of the channel is kind of like finding that balance and making sure I can do it all and still keep my sanity, make some money, and be happy at the same time. So at the core, that's pretty much what it is. I'm a family man. I'm a man of God, and I love just having fun. I'm a big kid. I'm a kid with adult bank account. That's what you can call me.
I love that. I love that. But tell us what actually inspired you, not just because being a photographer and videographer is one thing, but what inspired you to take those talents and bring it to YouTube?
Well, it's a strange thing because as a videographer, I was a videographer for some pretty big YouTubers, some famous YouTubers. I won't mention them, but at least 7 different channels, and they kind of inspired me. I went to Vid Summit the first time and got to this is in the early days when Mr. Beast used to show up, and they kind of poured it all into you, and I'm like. And at this time, I'm just a cameraman, and I'm thinking like, why am I not documenting, this story? I feel like everyone has a story, and you really be surprised on, who's, there to listen and what they can learn from it. So I want to say, a big shout out to the people I was working for. If you know them, because they inspired me, and they post every day, still to this day, and they're very successful. So in my brain, I was like, if I just follow a few different steps, I can be just as successful and find that financial freedom for my family and to continue doing what I love to do. So yeah, that kind of inspired me to keep doing it. And then reading the comments, and I know that a lot of people just kind of come to YouTube to escape. So after I start going, I was like, man, this is bigger than me, So it doesn't even matter who's watching. If I got like just a couple views on the video, I was like, that video was for those couple people. This is bigger than me. So, and it's honoring.
No, I love that. And let's go back to the very beginning. Like what was that feeling when you posted that very first video?
What's crazy, it took me so long because I was nervous, and it seemed scripted. I go back and watch it. You know how we are. Go back and watch that first video, and I'm all cringy. But it was, that video technically was what you asked me. That first question is why I'm doing it. And on that day, the YouTubers that I work for, they didn't have anything for me to do, and they had all this camera equipment. They didn't know what it was. They just have money, and they accumulated all this stuff. And I said, hey, how about I just take some of this gear? I'll go out and I'll show you what it can do. And me going out, I went to the lake and I just talked, and I talked about how they inspired me to do this. And yeah, putting out that first video was inspiring because I was wanting to show them. And once they kind of gave me this validation, like, man, you kind of got something here. And then people were like, when's the next video? And I was like, well, I guess I can't stop now. So yeah.
And tell us what how did your name come about? Does it have any special meaning, or what's the story behind the name?
Well, I find myself being hyper fixated. My wife tells me this as well. I probably have like undiagnosed ADHD. But once I get my mind focused on something,
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
I'm like, it's tunnel vision, and I I don't like to get distracted from it, but I'm hyper focused on it. And for me, it can be a gift and it's a curse, because the people outside of it they can bear, because if I'm not doing what I'm doing, I'm missing out, time with them. So again, that's a balance that I'm trying to get. But yeah, I'm hyper fixated on the things that I'm passionate about, and I find out, like, most people that are very passionate about something, they can talk about it for days and days, and they don't mind sharing it with the world because they're passionate about it. And yeah, there's certain things that I get I turned on, like as soon as I got the taste of e-bikes. It was with technically my first electronic vehicle was an electric skateboard. And soon as I got on that thing, and I was like, I don't actually have to like kick push, because I don't know how to skateboard at all. I can't skateboard at all, but I can ride an electric skateboard for sure. And that took my videography business to a next level, because now I'm this guy with the electric skateboard and a camera, and I'm filming cars and doing things that most people can't do, and it's really smooth. But once I got a bite of that, man, that the electric vehicle bug, it just took off, and e-bikes and electric cars and in tech. The future.
Yeah, going back to the name, and the reason I asked that question is because I personally love the name.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And it brings back, and what you just said really resonates with me, because I am exactly the same way. I self-diagnosed myself with ADHD myself, and I have a tendency to be very, very focused.
Yeah.
And I want to say, a little bit unlike you, the problem with me is that I'm so fixated, and I'm older than you. I'm a little different stage in life, but I'm so fixated, and like you and what you just said, that you have to figure out and work balance, because you do have family, you do.
Yeah.
But I'm a firm believer that individuals like us, individuals that have a tendency to have tunnel vision, have a tendency to succeed in what we're after. But there is a sacrifice that people make.
Absolutely.
Right? I know 1,000% that I have sacrificed a lot with my family, because I'm so fixated, right?
Right.
And like you mentioned, it is a curse. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. You just have to really recognize it and really try to dial it back. Which is why when I first started watching your videos and you started talking about that balance, I think that resonated with me, because I need that, right? I need to hear that from other people, to recognize, because when I get fixated on something, I get fixated on that, and everything else is a blur, right? So it really brings me back to that. So I appreciate that. Like I said, I really like your name. It really fits.
Thank you.
Fits. And now that I know the backstory, it really adds meaning to that as well.
And it's a play on words, Bishop TV. It's the whole thing. And I hate to make it like all about me, because they say that with YouTube. It's either you're the star of the story, or you try to make your audience the star. But I'm really just documenting my journey. And a lot of times I love to, and I've been doing it for a few years now. When I go back and watch a video from 2 years ago, I'm like, man, look at that guy. I'm like, I don't even recognize. I don't even know who that is. But it's cool for me to see how far I've grown from that. So, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your skills, because you do have some skills when it comes to editing and your storytelling, right? First of all, let's backtrack a little bit more. What do you think, as a content creator, what do you think is give me 3 very important things you have to have success as a content creator?
Well, I mean, if you're by yourself and you're a one-man band, most of us are, and we're kind of starting it off, the one thing that I feel like most people, lack at is going to be the editing, not the fundamentals of the editing, just actually enjoying it and being able to, dedicate that time to doing it. I know a lot of people that may have tons of footage and they put out great videos, and they're just like, man, I just don't have time sit there and like do this stuff, and they have to hire someone else and all this other stuff. But I feel like if you love the process of editing, you're going to do great. A lot of the creators, the big creators I watch, they still edit their own stuff. And I feel like that's an important process of it. And I'm not talking about doing a bunch of tricky stuff. It's simple cuts and telling stories, but just being able to sit down and rewatch some of the stuff that you filmed and putting it out there. And then just having the thick skin to, again, being vulnerable. You put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and now you're going to put it out into the world. And now they're going to give you back their feedback. So being able to have the thick skin to share that, being vulnerable, and not get offended when someone, doesn't like it or they have something else to say about it. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, two things there, right? The editing part, you're 1000% right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the creators that really like that process are the ones that stay with it the longest and the ones that are really successful.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people think that, they may see you, for example, in your case, they may see you now and they're like, okay, this guy's, he's where he's at. I mean, they think you did this overnight, but in reality, you've been doing this for a long time and you're learning through that process. And I think a lot of people don't have the patience and they don't realize how time consuming it is to edit.
Yes.
And the editing is, like you mentioned, is extremely important, but it's something that a lot of people don't like. And that's why they don't stay around the game long enough, right? To actually see their progress, right? I just put out a video, or I just did a video that I'm putting out tomorrow, discussing like this channel, for example. I'm one of those people, like we talked about already, that I'm really laser focused. But I think I have an element that a lot of people lack, and that is patience. I understand that this is not going to happen overnight.
Exactly.
And, a lot of people, they'll do this for 2 or 3 months and see that, they're getting 1 or 2 subscribers a month and like, they give up. No, that's when you have to, double down, continue to grind, and continue to focus on that. So tell us, what were your struggles in the beginning?
Well, I can say that my whole YouTube experience was a lot different than, I can say, 99% of people that may start. And that's only because I had the backing of those other big YouTubers that I film for, and they have, 800,000, almost a million subscribers on these channels, and there's 7 channels I film, and they show me. So it was kind of like I was guilty by association, and it can be a double-edged sword. This was a decision I had to make in the beginning. Because I knew when people see my face on thumbnails and stuff, they were going to click automatically because the audience that already was familiar with me. But the double-edged sword was, I was filming for like family channels, and these were older moms. So these were just older ladies that they love me. And 90% of my subscribers are older ladies, and I love them too. Like, a lot of feedback there, but it restricted some of the things I was able to do. I knew what they enjoyed. They loved seeing the things I was doing on that other channel. Family stuff, shopping, cooking, Costco vlogs and stuff, which I can make that happen. But as we know as creators, there's only so long you can go with not being authentic and genuine. And I feel like the best content is the content you would probably do for free, the stuff you do for fun. And that's what I wanted to do. So I think that was the hard part in the beginning, is figuring out, because they always say niche down, figure out what avenue you want to go in. It wasn't e-bikes initially. I always wanted to teach people, videography, because that's what I knew. I was like, I've put a lot of time and effort into this. Maybe I can show people the way without them having to make as many mistakes as I did. So I was like, let's dive deep in that. But some of these older ladies, they weren't into it. So I was trying to find a happy medium of doing that. And that got me tons of subscribers. Now, fast forward to today, now I'm sticking to myself and doing the things I love. I'm losing a lot of those ladies. Those ladies they're finding their own, and I'm getting new people coming in, but I'm seeing my stuff dip. And it's hard to see, after 3 years, your channel climbing and it kind of declined, and you're like wondering how things are going. It's, again, because I love the process. I love the editing. I love putting the stuff out. I won't ever stop doing it because it's just it's the fun. I would do this for free, but I think the biggest hurdle is figuring out which avenue you want to go with. And the YouTube says you kind of have to stick with it. You know, if you make dog videos and it's all about dogs, you can't make cat videos because
Right.
it will break the algorithm. And and I've been breaking the algorithm my whole YouTube career because I kind of just want to show every aspect of my life, and that's very confusing to an algorithm.
Right.
You know, so that's been the hardest thing.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that's so true. So, you know, I have another channel which is right here because I have another business. And when we first started, what led to this channel was the fact, number one, I have a passion for e-bikes. Always have been, always had. I've been a cyclist all my life, had a passion for it. But we added a component. So Dream Vacation and Rentals is a short-term rental management, asset management company that focuses strictly on, you know, travel and Airbnbs and all that aspect of it. But we added a component of renting bike rentals.
Okay.
And of those bike rentals were e-bikes. We did a video on that, and then that video did well. But I immediately knew I can't do a lot of e-bike videos on this channel because I'm going to lose my core that I have. So that's spun up to this channel because I agree. The one thing that's unique about YouTube and what's different between YouTube and let's say Instagram and Facebook and TikTok is that YouTube, number one, it's the second most searchable search engine there is out there, right? Google number one, YouTube number two, and they own each other, right? Mm-hmm. So people go to YouTube to search specific things. And if you're an e-bike channel and then you try to put vacation or travel stuff in your e-bike channel, it's going to, like you said, it's going to screw up your algorithm. People are going to get confused. The algorithm is going to get confused. They don't know where to show you. So being a little bit niche down is important. I 1000% agree there. But I have seen it in which channels have evolved, right? I think one of the biggest persons that I've seen evolve a channel and continue to see success is Mike from from Electric Revolution. I don't know if you know who he is. Yeah. His channel didn't start. It had nothing to do with e-bikes in the beginning. It was just electronics, right? And then now it's e-bikes. But he was able to, even though they're separate, they were still like in the electronic niche, which made it an easy transition. You know, had he been in construction and tried to switch over to e-bike, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Or it wouldn't work.
So yes, and then starting another channel would probably be the best option. And I think I did that for a while, but I was like, man, I don't see, how do you run two channels? How do you do it?
It's difficult. You need a team, bro. I'll be the first to admit that if it wasn't for my team, and I have the privilege and the honor to have a team, I couldn't do what I do. I mean, we throw out a video every day.
Wow. Yeah.
Sorry for this brief interruption, but if you are enjoying this interview, do me a big favor and hit the like button. Comment below, tell me where you're watching from, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And lastly, do me a big favor and watch this short video from our sponsor. If you are a short-term rental operator or you're planning to get into the short-term rental game,
this is a visual hook. My reels don't get views. I don't know why everybody's growing in Instagram except me. Well, did you set up your Instagram account for growth?
your iPhone can compete with a professional photographer?
I am Lorena Martinez. I'm an expert in digital marketing, content creation, and engagement.
And we have this channel and we have our other channel. It's just super time consuming, and I have to still run my business.
Yeah.
It's not like I solely do, Wad Hustle. I have a business to run. So
that's hard. That's the hard part, because I think, again, with the tunnel vision, I can sit here and film e-bike videos all day. It's probably one of my favorite things to do, is going out and riding. Of course, you making money and getting free bikes, so you just get to go out and ride in nature. Of course, I want to do that all day, every day. But there's other jobs that I need to sit down here and edit, and other things I need to focus on. So yeah, it's that balance, and I try my best to juggle that. And no one gets it right. You drop a ball here and there. Something has to.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Talking about nobody gets it right. Tell me of a video that you've done that surprised the heck out of you, either good or bad.
Well, let me think about it. The crazy thing is, what I learned is, in the beginning, I tried to put all of my cinematic skills into my vlogs, and it took a lot of time setting up tripods, and the shots where the car's driving by. I'm by myself, so this means I have my camera. I have to set the camera up outside. I have to get in my car. I have to drive by the camera. I have to get out the car. I have to go back and get the camera. So these are multiple shots that I did. I used to do this in every video back in the day. And I was like, man, people are really going to appreciate that. And then all of a sudden, I think I just did a sit and talk with just one camera, and it was just like this with the background, and I just talked to people. That video probably did the best, and I think people just wanted to hang out. That's what they felt like they were doing. It wasn't overly produced, and but again, I still have fun making those very cinematic videos. But sometimes just sitting out, and then sometimes it's just it's a live stream, no edits. I go live and I just sit there, and I may just talk about whatever I feel like talking about for the moment. And those videos do fairly well. And I try to do more of those, just figuring out keeping it interesting. I don't feel like I'm that interesting of a person. Most people probably feel like I am, but just making sure that I'm adding value to each one of these videos. I try, I know I can do it every day, but I feel like if I did every day, it would definitely water down some of the stuff that I want to teach. So I'm trying my best to put it all into a week's worth of content and really deliver, but it's complicated.
It is super complicated. And I asked that question to everybody I interviewed, and everybody has the same type of answer, because we have no idea, none, what's going to stick.
No.
You could look at a video and spend hours on hours and saying, "Wow, that was the bomb," and it truly bombs,
Yes.
right? And you can just do a whim video, and then that goes viral. It's so weird.
And the hardest part for
weird.
me is I do it professionally. I post videos professionally for 5 other businesses, across California. And they rely on me to get results. And sometimes I'll put out a video and I have no idea why it did what it did, because my goal is to try to replicate the success and reproduce it so I get more views. And for example, one of the clients, they have a ranch, 400 acres. They have cows and horses, and I just may post one single shot of some goats, and that will do amazingly. But I put together drone shots and amazing, and that just will do kind of, again, mediocre. You really don't know what people may be interested in that moment. That's why I just keep putting it out there. I think I heard something from a creator back in the day, and it's like, if you just want to get started and you're like waiting for the perfect video, he said just keep putting out the bullcrap videos. Put the crap out there until you land some success. So I just keep putting out videos, and hopefully one goes viral every once in a while.
Yeah, all you really need is one, every once in a while, one to go viral, and the rest just is there to sustain the channel,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we talked about your video editing. Tell me what, and I kind of know the answer to this already, mm-hmm. but I just want to spell it out. What is your favorite type of content to produce.
Yeah, and I mentioned like me making videos about doing e-bike stuff and telling stories, but besides that, I've filmed 7 short movies. I didn't write them. I haven't written any of them, but these are people that have hired me to shoot their film. I have a few on Tubi and others on YouTube that are spread out. Sometimes those are the best fun because I can really strut my stuff and show what I can do, especially if I have a really good, like you say, a team, a cast.
Yeah.
I feel like every major leader, anyone that did anything great, they had a great team behind them. So I feel like my biggest and my best projects was when I had like awesome crew behind me. They were all enthusiastic to get the job done. So yeah, short films, action movies, me being able to show, and I'm doing this all with low budgets. I don't have money, and I hope it looks like it actually was some money behind it. That way someone else will invest in the future. But yeah, I technically film pretty much everything that can possibly be filmed. And when it comes down to movies, I think that's one of my favorites.
Nice. Yeah, that shows that you are definitely in a different category than me, because you're definitely that creator, that person that has the vision and idea on how to put cameras and angle. I have no clue on any of that. If it wasn't for my crew, especially Lorena,
Yeah.
my stuff would be crap.
Yeah, and it's a crew. It's not all me. It's a crew too.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. Now, one of the things that you talk a lot on your channel is it's balance, right? In your family. Tell us a little bit about that. How do you juggle being a full-time creator and your family and life in general?
Well, again, that tunnel vision is always there. So, man, I'm big on hour blocking and scheduling. I keep schedules and planners. I write down things and make lists, and sometimes those lists are it gets to be a long list. And what happens is, if you're anyone like me, that a list like that could get you overwhelmed to the point you don't want to do anything. So I try to tackle each little thing at a time. And in between me scheduling and hour blocking, again, I'm my own boss doing this stuff, but I still have to schedule in lunch. I still have to schedule in, little breaks. My wife works from home as well, so I'm able to take breaks with her and take lunch with her. So that's that balance of time I get with her, especially when my daughter's at school. So we get, time together. And then I clock out. I make sure that I clock. I mean, there's some days that I do call all-nighters and I'm in here editing all night. That's the sacrifice that happens every once in a while. But that sacrifice happens when I'm able to take a full day and take my daughter shopping, or, because I do that on my channel as well, where I give her yes day, and I can't tell her no, and she can just spend whatever she wants and hanging out with my wife. And that's on my channel too. I show that balance of dating her, constantly trying to make sure that I'm, taking her on dates like we did when we were younger. So yeah, I live by the calendar and the schedule and the alarms that go off. It's in where I'm at right now in Phoenix, Arizona. It's 2:30, so I know I got a couple hours before I get some family time in, and then we get family board game night. So I have to make sure I make time for that, because next week I'll be in, and I do this every month. I'm away for 1 week in California working with clients. I have 5 clients in California, so I'll spend a week there filming, and that's a week away from my family. So that's I definitely have to make sure I schedule in the time with them separately, them together, and then me as well, getting that me time. When I open my videos, I talk about that. And on this video, I like to show the balance between and how I get my time. And my time is getting out on the bike. And I love to get on the e-bike and get some nature and some silence. So it's that balance, that holy trinity, and schedule it. We don't get enough hours in a day, So if I can hour block them as much as possible.
Listen, guys, that's a big, what he just gave you is gold, right? Because, and I hope you guys caught that. You have to, if you become as successful as he is, if you get as busy and most of us are super busy, but most of us are wasting a lot of time. You purposely have to schedule that stuff out. Yeah. You can't just wing it, because I heard Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank once say that most of what we hear is noise, right? And we gotta get rid of the noise and just focus on 20% of what we need to get accomplished, and focus on one thing, and then move on to the next once that one thing is accomplished. But unless you write that down and really schedule it out, I'm telling you, you're going to struggle. So thank you for sharing that information.
Yeah, and that's just a small piece, because I've only mentioned like my wife and my daughter. Most people still have friends outside of, and you have your family and aunts and uncles and all these other events. So yeah, it could definitely take up the time. Like I said, we don't have enough time in a day. I'm so tunnel vision on the things that I do. I don't watch sports. There was a time that I did watch sports. Now if I was watching sports, I feel like I should be doing something else. Or I'm more analyzing.
You feel guilty.
I do feel guilty. Or I'm analyzing the cameraman or something, because I love if I am watching TV, I am figuring out angles. Or if I'm watching YouTube, I'm trying to get inspired in some sort of way. If I'm scrolling on my phone, Facebook, I'm looking at ads. That's what I scroll for. I'm looking for who's promoting, because I know they're in the market, and I'm going to reach out to them to try to get a sponsorship. So I try to, even with my free time, I feel like it's meant to be doing, it's a purpose. And again, scheduling time to just have fun. And it's hard for me to just get out on the e-bike and have fun, because even when I'm out there, what am I doing? I got the camera, I'm vlogging, So yeah, it's this is a lifestyle that I love, but there's times when I vlog and I'm like, should I be vlogging right now? Or something happened, I was like, oh, should I pull out my camera? So I'm a daily vlogger. Everything is content to me. So yeah, it's a fine line.
You mentioned sponsorship. I think sponsorship is a huge part of being a content creator. So talk a little bit about that. Do you currently have a sponsor? How do you hustle for sponsors? Give us some tips on that.
Well, when I was filming for the other YouTubers, they got tons of sponsorships. So the one thing that I learned was how brands communicate and the things that they're looking for. And most of the time they tell you exactly what they want. So I'd filmed hundreds of sponsored videos, even commercials from biggest, Toyota and Nickelodeon and Disney. We were doing big stuff. And by the time that it was my time to do videos, and I feel like, man, I'm at a point where I can have sponsorship. I think I had like 2,000 subscribers. And I talked to the guy that did the sponsorships for the other channel, and he just gave me all the game. He laid it out for me. He said, man, keep it simple, 3 sentences. Don't send them any links. You're going to get caught in their spam. Don't make it complicated. Just say, hey, I'm Bishop. I'm a content creator. I would love to collaborate with you. And that's it. And if they're interested, they'll say, hey, send me your links. And that will get your foot in the door. I do that. I do that same thing, that email, at least, 5 to 10 times every other day. I don't try to do it too much, because you'll get messed up in the email system you'll become a spammer. But again, I'm scrolling and I'm looking for brands. I'm watching other YouTubers. If they're doing a sponsorship on it, I can do a sponsorship on it. That means that it's available. So, and if not, it just puts my name in their ear. So later on, when it is available, they'll know exactly who to reach out to. So it's a pipeline of me reaching out. And my best part of my day waking up is checking my email and seeing who wants to send me something for free, or who wants to pay me for stuff too. I love to get paid for a lot of stuff. My one teammate is my wife. She handles a lot of that stuff. I'm too nice. I would say, just send it to me for free.
No, you got to negotiate that.
My wife, she's a stickler. She'll say, no, the fee is this, and she'll stand on it, and they'll negotiate back and forth, and she'll stand on it. I would probably, no, okay, cool. So I'm glad that I appreciate that she takes care of a lot of that stuff that way. Because the sponsorships, again, like you said, they're important. They pay for the channel. They keep things going, without them, I love it. I'm having fun, but without them, it makes sense. You spend a lot of hours and time into this, so you kind of got to make some type of money for it, So
exactly. And I'm glad you said that you send out those emails on a regular basis. I do the same thing. Every day I'll send 5 to 6 emails. I don't know if you use a CRM, but I use a CRM to keep track of who I've been talking to and what process during in my where are they in my process. And what's funny is I've received emails from other YouTubers asking, because I got very lucky in the sense that I started to get sponsors and started getting people to send me items or products to review even before. I think my first product was sent to me. I only had 50 subscribers on this channel. But so people were asking, how did I do it? And it's what you just said. It's simple. You just have to hustle, right? You have to figure out who's needing who, and constantly reach out to them. I mean, I reached out to I'll use Russia for example. I wrote to them every single day for almost 3 to 4 months straight until they said yes.
Yeah, and sometimes a no isn't necessarily a no, and I think that was my first sponsorship. Was they were like, your numbers aren't really there, and I was like, listen, I'm going to put this bike in every video from now on, because it's and since then I built such a relationship with them. I think I have another bike on the way. It's like the 6th bike from this company, and my biggest videos I've ever done was with this company. So I love, and I shot them out. This Happy Run. I love their bikes. I know a lot of people have negative stuff, but they're all good stuff. So and it's not just one sponsor, one person that sponsors me. It's I feel like I get maybe 10 to 20 a month here and there from different companies. And sometimes I don't even have to post them on my channel because I'm a videographer. I love doing UGC content. So I just, a brand will send me a product, I film it on backdrops and the proper lighting and make it look very commercial, and I'll just send it to them, and they do what they want to do with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, that's
pretty cool.
That's been a big part of it. I started doing that just by pulling products out of my refrigerator, just finding things, and I vlog about it. I'll just film it and make it look like a commercial that they would have spent money on, and I would just send it to them, and then that sparked the relationship. So
yeah, and it's funny, and I think a lot of people in our niche, and the e-bike niche specifically, they strictly focus on the bike itself. I've gotten sponsorship from pedals, mirrors, and now I got one from a it's called Bonello, which is a company that makes a manual tool to help you remove or put on tires, right? So if you're listening, don't just ask, bike manufacturers. Yeah, don't just focus on that. I mean, there's baskets, there's pedals, there's lights. There's a lot of companies that will probably sponsor you if you just reach out to them and ask, right?